welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost complete with bracket number 3. It took a little while, but we're almost there. It's going to be a TVT, and it is going to be good. Bunny has been waiting patiently to go up against SpeCial, and it seems like we have confirmation that things are going on in bracket 4. Rotterdam, what are you covering, and is something happening?
Yes, something is happening. So we could just take a look at my laptop real quick, because we've got a Doom drop, and I'm not even casting a Terran game, guys.
Ooh.
There are 2 Phoenixes, but it takes a little while.
Well, there you go.
Roddy,
2 plus 2 is 4!
And Stalkers, oh my god.
Okay, well, this Doom drop is actually not working out very well for Lucira. So, of course, guys, we are in Lucira versus Trap.
Hydras though.
Yeah, got a few out.
Hydras are pretty good.
In the end, these Hydras getting a little bit of damage done. This has been a pretty cool game, so
wait,
that's
what?
a lot of lurkers and Hydras as well.
You undersold this situation.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
This looks quite rough for Trap.
Immortals are good units though, guys.
So
Yeah,
Storm.
but there's still Hydras in his main, mate.
Yeah, just a couple. I actually think Protoss is fine here.
Well, yeah, Storm.
Guys, this is not what the desk is for, right? Like,
We'll fist fight afterwards. We'll just do this. We'll do this segment first.
So anyway, the TLDR is that Trevor's Lucira is turning into a pretty awesome series. I'll keep a close eye on it, but I'm very hyped to see a lot of Trap in this tournament. I think he's one of the perhaps most underrated players coming into this tournament, especially when it comes to foreigners who don't watch this man play all the time.
Right.
Trap is great, and he's looking good so far.
And way back when me and Todd pegged him as a wing commander in the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice a long time ago.
it was just you, actually.
No, it was you two, I remember. Anyway.
I'll fist fight you after.
Oh no, well I'm losing that one. Let's check in with laptop number 1, of course, as we do have Maynard covering Suvas Harstem.
Well, it's early game PvZ, and I think the biggest thing to have a look at in this game is the score right now.
Yes.
So it's early game, so no real big deal. I mean, this expansion path of Sue is a little weird, you know, taking this one instead of this one. It looks like Harstem's being a bit annoying with his probe. But Harstem is up 1-0. In game 1, Sue went for a big Zergling committal in his natural ramp. He also did some Zergling floods into the main with with Dropper Lord play. But Harstem held on and counterattacked and managed to somehow find tons of damage with Adepts. And Sue had everything he needed. He had Lings, he had Banes. But yeah, Harstem, man, the magic of the Duchy, he got it done. I can't believe it.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. And now, guys, I want to get your quick thoughts, Todd especially. Whoa, this is Art Nouveau. All right, let's go. I want to get your quick thoughts on our TVT coming up. SpeCial going up against Bunny. Quick thoughts, who do you think is going to be able to do well?
SpeCial, I think, is definitely, I would say, the favorite for me, because he's looked so good in TVT in the past. He's, again, that guy that speaks with TY all the time, and he's had, historically, a lot of good series in TVT against very good Korean Terrans, Teja and all of these guys included. So really looking forward to it. And hopefully we see Bio against Smek. I think that would be a very cool matchup. To be honest, anything would be good to see here at this point. So.
All right, thank you very much, gents. I'll check in with you later. As for now, we are ready to go over to our final series of bracket number 3, TVT. Who moves on to the round of 24?
What's up, guys? We are here and ready to go into this Terran versus Terran, SpeCial versus Bunny. Personally, I think SpeCial's going to take this. What about you, Pig?
I think he comes in as a little bit of a favorite, but Bunny, you know, you were talking about it earlier, right? We always kind of underestimate Bunny a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he does come out and perform. He's been looking good so far today. He has been steamrolling the lower bracket. And I think what I'm curious about is 2 things. One, are we going to see some mech from Bunny and Bio from SpeCial? I think we will see that cross of styles. But also the Raven in this matchup has been fascinating. We saw one game yesterday where that Raven came in, shut down 4 siege tanks in a key, crucial engagement in the early game and won the fight in the late game. We've seen mass Seeker missiles, or I guess Shredder missiles, or whatever they're called now, coming in and actually being decisive.
I call them pig missiles.
The pig missiles, because they're big and powerful.
That's right. And they taste like bacon. I don't know. All right, sorry, guys. We're going to go into the introduction for these players. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is SpeCial. SpeCial, the player ID. He's also a special guy.
Hells yeah. Representing Exceed Esports and playing very, very well today, of course. Up here in the top right, in the red, the Terran player, it is Bunny. The other Terran player, I should say.
We're going to find out who really is the Terran player in a minute, though.
Identifiable characteristic, the one who's Terran in the Terran vs. Terran.
That's right.
I'm pretty good at these intros. I'm
Technically,
learning.
the races are Terran. They are human beings. They're Terran in real life.
Yeah. They're tearing it up here and on the ladder. That was terrible. Oof.
No, the trick is you just keep going. You don't turn back. That's how you do a cast like this. I'm dropping dumb comments all the time, but I just keep moving forward, all right?
Confident.
It's like being a shark. If you stop moving, you die.
That's true.
Well, let's in all seriousness, let's see what exactly these guys have in store for us.
Yeah.
I do agree with what the desk was saying, that I think SpeCial has a little bit of a leg up. I know that you and I were saying that as well.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that SpeCial has been in Korea for so long, he has been talking to players like TY. He's actually become very good friends with a lot of the Korean players. They really do treat him like one of their own, and they know how hard he practices. Hold on a second. This SCV might actually die.
It was actually a nice start, though, because, I mean, Bunny didn't even pull an extra SCV, and he got the command center down, while SpeCial pulled 2, and his command center was delayed like an extra 5 or 6 seconds. So it's not going to, like, win the entire game, but it's a nice little bit of momentum for Bunny. And, of course, looking at the build orders, there is a bit of difference. SpeCial, has gone gas before Barrack, so he's wanting to tech up very quickly, probably wants to be the aggressor. Meanwhile, Bunny has actually gone for the faster Reaper, but his factory is going to be a lot delayed, so he's opening up 2 Reapers, and we've seen Bunny do this into reacted Cyclones over and over again. I expect the exact same thing out of him here.
Okay, nice play here. SpeCial pulling 3 SCVs to be guaranteed that he'd be all right in that initial engage. The second Reaper is headed towards the corner of the map that SpeCial resides in. We now have the barracks and the factory swap along with a starport on the way, but these 2 players forking this game direction out in very different ways here, with those 2 Reapers for Bunny and SpeCial trying to tech up a little bit more quickly.
Yeah, I feel like SpeCial is definitely the less predictable player here, but these Reapers come in just half a second before the command center finishes. These Hellions need to pop out to keep this Reaper alive on the defense. Oh, Bunny's going deep. This is very risky, but he's going to grab an SCV or 2 for his troubles.
There's so many low HP SCVs. It looks like this last one will manage to get in, slipping through the command center and the barracks, but a nice tempo play there by Bunny, getting in a window of time where SpeCial actually thought he was quite safe. From here, we're going to have to see if Bunny can really capitalize on this. There is a counterattack occurring it's going to be occurring in a second with these 2 Hellions and the Reaper moving across the map. The answer for Bunny will be the 2 Cyclones he was probably going to be making anyways, but in this case, they should be spawning right around when this push comes in.
Third command center on the way for Bunny as well. I love that he pulled all the SCVs away from the low ground. This one just popped out, though. He's going to have a bad time. That one will be going down. The Cyclones are going to pop out and chase this away. But SpeCial, some nice scouting, some good map control, and this is probably what he's already expecting to face off again. So he is himself going into double Cyclones at home, as well as a medevac. Wants to be able to keep the pressure on with drops and force Bunny to leave those Cyclones at home. My big question is, what is the follow-up for SpeCial? Is he going to go into Bio or Mech himself? Right now, seems like Cyclone production on both sides, and Banshee Cloak is going to be the follow-up for SpeCial. So Banshee Harass going to be his next level of harassment. I mean, Bunny looks like he just wants to sit in his corner of the map and defend. SpeCial going to be very aggressive, though.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. SpeCial's always like some of these aggro play styles. That Reaper spotting the Cyclones Bunny's already made. You got to be careful in Cyclone versus Cyclone, because the Cyclones, of course, deal so much damage so quickly. Things can spiral out of control if you're in a bad position. But first and foremost, SpeCial actually diving inside the main here, getting 3 worker kills, and actually leaving not a unit from SpeCial's scathed. I guess the right way to say it would be unscathed, but yes, he leaves unscathed.
We do have a word for that. Quite a nice one as well. But
you never really say, oh, yeah, he left his base scathed. And now that I think about it, it's not really how it flows out.
Yeah, that's actually weird.
We're learning about TVT and kind of the English language here as we go on. Actually, it looks like you might want a counterattack over here.
That's actually crazy. 5 Cyclones going across. SpeCial not having a lot at home, realizing he needs to pull him back, and he does get those Cyclones to turn around. At the same time, these Hellions grabbing quite a little handful of SCVs.
Oh! He's got to stay away from the turret. Okay, he does manage to unload all those Hellions. A lot of these SCVs badly bruised, but being positioned around the command center so the shots can't quite get off. Brilliant play there by Bunny.
Yeah, good play from both sides. SpeCial does get 8 SCVs and most importantly buys himself time. He's now got the Raven out, he's got 4 Cyclones on top of the ramp, and even if Bunny tries to push up that ramp, we are going to have either auto turrets or those interference matrices disabling, of course, the Cyclones of Bunny. Bunny adding more siege tanks and factories right now, just going to be heading on into that mech play that he's so well known for.
Okay, Bunny beginning to push up. Spotter SCV is picked off. Bunny decides to back up. keeping a little bit more ambiguity then about where he's actually going to be at in this game. As Bunny's starport is about to complete, we're seeing more and more of these tanks get incorporated. And this has just turned out to be a pretty great series. Now, hold up. We're about to have the Cyclone dogfight here in the middle of the map, but it looks like SpeCial might have slight initiative here. These Cyclones have to curb around some of these edges, which means there's some pot shots that SpeCial can have on them. So nicely done. It seems like now SpeCial wants to go back just in case of a counterattack. That's been a big theme here in this game, is trying to keep your opponent pinned inside their base.
You know, there's a lot of people out there who've been really excited throughout today, Nick, and it's a lot of them for the Protoss group coming at the end of today, but I feel like this game is mech versus mech right now, and after the 2 games before, I think this group might just never end because neither one is actually going aggressive. They're both just getting armories, upgrades, factories. They're both gearing up for the mega late game, and I kind of feel like unless someone makes a super cool mid-game push with siege tanks, we're probably just going to see them end up with Ravens trying to spam those missiles on each other, Liberators pushing forwards. It's going to go for a long game here on Blackpink because there's just no easy way to push in with a mech army.
I think you are probably right, Big. Honestly, this has been like the Intel Extreme Masters Dragon Ball Z edition group where they're just continuing to power up.
Yeah.
And we know that the big fight's coming. We don't know how it's going to end. We know it's going to be epic. And I don't know what it is about this group. I think this was by far the longest group to get through, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some of these games going for a long time. Some beautiful play from both sides. And it's nice to see Bunny here getting aggressive, of course, for Vikings, giving him that air superiority. But the Raven, a potential game changer for SpeCial if he can use it correctly. Both players tied neck and neck in supply. The double upgrade investment is on the way for SpeCial, but it hasn't kicked in just yet.
Okay, SpeCial coming in now. Cyclone's dealing a lot of damage. Some Vikings drop here in the front to try to tank.
Oh, wow. Nice interference matrix on the siege tank, but there's just so many Cyclones combined with the Vikings being landed. It looks like Bunny will be able to clean up that engagement, but a very close trade on both sides. And wow, this is such a fast 4th base.
Yeah, this is a pretty ambitious play here for SpeCial. Even though he lost that initial fight, it seems like he should have enough, especially with how close he is to his rally, to possibly hang on. Now pushing forward, taking out this last tank before that next volley could get off. And Bunny is retreating, forcing Bunny into a position where he's going to have to play a game of catch-up as far as expansions go.
It's so funny to see these 2 different styles of mech clashing. We're seeing Bunny with the more traditional tanks, Hellbats. He's got Vikings there supporting as well. But SpeCial is saying, hey, it's mech versus mech. All I need is more Cyclones. He's starting to add a few more Aliens in, some Vikings as well, and a lot more starports, interestingly enough. But it's like SpeCial is just skipping the siege tank phase altogether. He's saying, look, there's no Marines and Marauders to bother with. Cyclones are going to get it done.
It's funny how the Cyclone as a unit overall really changed the way mech operates. And you can see that already, you know, in these fights we've had in this game right here, right now. Kind of staying with that theme of mech, but adding mobility. And the main theme is just the damage output that you can have with a unit, especially if you get the proper engage off before they're able to fire back. And it seems like Bunny is going to try to double down on pushing into this area, but it almost seems like at this point he may be feeding into SpeCial with just too much damage output here, as the army is just a little bit too scattered. So many red HP Cyclones. Once again, SpeCial wins the fight, allowing, if SpeCial then regroups and gets some more reconnaissance added in over here, we could see a counter push into this area right over here.
Yeah, that's definitely the threat. I mean, SpeCial, even with a 5th base on the way, the 4th is fully up and mining. His economy is out of control. 92 workers for SpeCial. What a godlike macro game from the Mexican Terran. Some Liberator pressure will be coming in, but SpeCial dominating the map right now. He is all over it. We're going to see some Vikings come in and cleaning that up. A few SCV kills is nice, but he's lost 10 SCVs? He's still up 20 on top of what Bunny has. SpeCial is going to be able to just play such an inefficient game, and he'll still just be able to overpower Bunny.
It's kind of funny because normally when you see one player being aggressive, the player who's defending is not also getting that way ahead in bases. It's like SpeCial gets to like have his cake and eat it at the same time in this game, and already we're seeing the supply count rapidly exceed what Bunny can offer here. Both the bottom center and the center left are completely getting, he's soaking up all the resources in those locations, and it doesn't seem like Bunny has any clear plan for how to stop that. Bunny really been going with a more push-oriented game here, but SpeCial is always able to cut him off at the pass.
Yeah, so many Cyclones still out, and this is what gives SpeCial so much mobility, but he has built so many workers, and that's a lot of siege tanks, Nick. That's a big army coming forward for Bunny right now. Both players scanning ahead, spotting each other, and we are seeing SpeCial caught right now in the middle of trying to swap into an air army. He's got 3 Vikings on the way, as well as a Liberator range. If he can claim that air control, he's going to use ranged Liberators to just destroy these siege tanks from afar. And actually catches the siege tanks in the middle of the map.
And you can see the Liberators now setting up these liberation zones. The tanks are going to be mowed down. The Viking battle should be won here by SpeCial, but on the ground with so many more Hellions and Cyclones, we're seeing the first major victory here from Bunny. Bunny scrambling right now to try to get into a critical location where he can actually punish SpeCial. SpeCial does cut him off the pass, forcing Bunny to then go southbound and maybe try to find an opening there.
Yeah, going to break down these rocks to get a clearer path across this map. I mean, Bunny might be behind, but he's getting his own 5th base up as well. They both do have equal upgrades right now. SpeCial trying to stop this army from moving forward, but there's so many Hellions. These Cyclones also having those lock-on launches upgrade for Bunny. So Bunny's Cyclone's going to do a little bit of extra damage to those air units.
Once again, we have Bunny making some openings here on the map. Since there's a little bit more map control, he's trying to get more avenues where he can actually try to push in an attack. And in this case, he's going to try to attack right in over here at the bottom center expansion. And for the first time, a true expansion denial here by Bunny. He's been punching up throughout most of this game, but he's finally managed to breach this. The response by SpeCial, try to harass in various locations and slow down the resource gathering. We're also still waiting for Bunny to begin to mine from that northern base. It seems that there are no SCVs. Oh, in fact, I believe I just now see SCVs moving on the mini-map up there. So he's just now beginning to gather those resources.
And SpeCial here, under pressure, having to move his 4th base away, of course, has sent this big counter-attack up. He's working his way into these bases, looking to pick off these units. His Hellions are going to split off and try to kill as many workers as they can. Meanwhile, the Cyclone's making quick work out of those Hellions. Vikings going to land to try and deal with this, but it's all about these Hellions in the top. Have they found many SCVs? No, just a few going down here.
Again, SpeCial with his small force over here. Looks like he wants to try to take out these Cyclones and maybe corner these SCVs, but from behind comes Bunny, driving this back out and allowing Bunny to secure this northern location.
So many SCVs did go down in the back of that mineral line during that. These Liberators still being annoying, and remember, it's harder for Bunny to bounce back from these losses. SpeCial, look at his bank. He's got 3,000 minerals. He's taken a new base in the north. He can even retake the base in the south when he wants to. Bunny, on the other hand, every time he loses SCVs like this, you can see he falls a little bit further behind. That supply count dragging its tail, and whilst Bunny has had a larger army for quite a period while SpeCial was being so greedy, that's now reversed. SpeCial up over 10 army supply. He's got this sick air advantage. It's all about him leveraging that Viking Liberator count now.
Again, this Liberator is really a thorn in the paw of Bunny right now. It's taken out so many SCVs, and even though I think we've seen some big plays here from Bunny, especially pushing expansions and controlling the map, if you're losing SCVs and you're not able to mine from that location, you will fall further and further behind. Now we have another engage over here on Bunny's side of the map, but it seems like although there are a ton of Vikings here for SpeCial, overall there is just too much here for Bunny, crushing through and driving this remaining Air Force back.
Well, this is something I was worrying about. You know, with so much invested in those Liberators, they take a while to siege up. By the time they'd sieged up and started firing, there was everything else had already happened in the battle. So many units had gone down, and now SpeCial with this bizarre composition of Liberator, Viking, Cyclone, Hellion is getting pushed back. Bunny is on the warpath. He wants to shove his way through this. The Liberator's just not able to kill everything. A few siege tanks do go down, but Bunny still with a large army left over. He wants to push in. He needs to get on top of the production now.
And with the SCVs being evacuated here, it looks like this command center will go down. Again, it's been an uphill battle for Bunny, but he is finally now ahead. In the expansion game, he may be flirting with the idea of trying to push into this expansion just to the left of the screen here, but he probably wants to regroup before doing that. SpeCial, it seemed like he was growing so fast, he was doing so well in the fights, but I guess he got a little bit too ambitious with some of these attacks, miscalculating where exactly Bunny would be if Special had managed to grow this much.
I feel like he almost just needs a little bit more Cyclone production to help win these ground battles. There's just not as many units on the ground for Special right now. This is a great Hellion counter. It's going to do massive damage, but he's losing another one of his valuable bases. He's going to use Lock-On to try and save that command center, but even then being forced to lift is such a pain. And look at Special's gas. He's been floating a ton of money this whole time, but he needs more factories. He just needs more Hellion Hellbat Cyclone production. These units that are going to be able to bash the way through the ground. Right now, the air advantage is just too big for Bunny. If we can see the unit count, there's just way more Vikings in the sky. 15 to only 9. And this is what's totally debilitating Special's tech. I mean, if you're relying on Liberators, but you can't even win the air battle, you're just not going to be able to make effective use of your army composition. And that is why Bunny is in so much control right now.
You know, it's funny because if you look at the map, it's Bunny with the upper right quadrant completely on lock, but Special, this guy moves like water. If Bunny pushes the bottom center, Special just grows into the upper left. And as well as Bunny's been doing in these games, I do wonder if he can still keep up with Special. Even if he stops Special in one location, Special then grows somewhere else.
Definitely is the case where Special's been just absorbing so many more resources off this map, but I mean, units lost-wise, Bunny is just looking a lot better as well. He's been a lot more efficient throughout these engagements. We can see there, you know, these fights just haven't been going the way Special wanted. I love the mobility, I love the style, but it just doesn't seem to be working with the engagements he's gotten so far. And until he catches back up in the air, he's relying on landed Vikings to fight on the ground. This is not an ideal composition.
Okay, we see the big attack coming in here now, and Special engulfing the army of Bunny. So much damage from every angle. Practically a 360-degree attack there, swallowing up anything that remained of Bunny. And now the counter push opportunity is available for Special. He wants to back out of this low ground area and look for an opening. And again, Special reclaiming the bottom center. This is a very, very problematic position here for Bunny.
That was such a sick surround there. He did so well. And at the same time, we see Bunny re-establishing center control down here. Wants to protect his expansions, but 16 workers going down. Special, once again, with a very beefy economy lead. Not to mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases open to him right now.
You know, I have to say, this is one of the weirder Terran versus Terrans I've casted. Yeah. As normally it's a scale that gradually moves in one direction unless somebody makes a drastic mistake. Instead, this is Bunny looking really solid, but Special always able to outgrow him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's just so good at maneuvering around. It's pure mobility versus immobility, two completely different styles of mech.
And it's funny because it's not just mobility with an army, it's mobility with map growth too, which is not, I would say, as common in Terran versus Terran. And now we have a big push from Bunny down in the bottom left, attempting to pierce the heart of Special's main here, trying to take out all production. Whereas Special, he did do some damage in the center right. He's scrambling across the map with the rest of his army to try to surround once again this big army of Bunnies and try to close this game out.
I mean, Bunny's economy has been shattered by the counterattacks. He's down to just 17 workers at home. And of course, Special realizing that his production is in the open. It is exposed. He's bringing everything back. He's ready to bring those units in from the back at the same time. Masses of Cyclones and Hellions on the front. It is Special focusing on the ground units right now. I'd actually love to see a few, there we go, Liberators coming in. Since all the Vikings are landed right now, there's just not that many of them for Bunny. A few Liberators could break that contain on his main base.
Yeah, that was a good calculation by Special when he identified that's how he should be able to win the fight. He then instead heads up north, knowing that this is the only mineral-rich expansion in the top center. Now Bunny is going to try to come in here and actually destroy the production. So Special has to handle this attack perfectly.
I love the patience here from Special. Shuts down Bunny's economy, says there's no way you've got more income coming in. I've shut it down. Let's just be patient. He's waiting, but oh, the starport goes down just before the two Liberators pop. Special forced to pull the trigger, tries to go forward, but those Liberators, they were the secret to him breaking out of that expansion.
Okay, this has become a total bloodbath of a game. I mean, they are both exchanging serious blows here. The production has been shut down right now for Special. He was not able to curb the tanks coming in. However, Bunny has no real income right now. If we can get, I'm sorry, is there a Liberator somewhere on this map?
I don't
for
think
SpeCial?
there's any Liberators, and that Starport, I think, went down.
So then does that mean that Bunny, his army cannot be stopped?
I think Bunny might have just done it, man. I mean, this Liberator pops out, but there's nothing left. Oh, SpeCial is down 32 army supply to 69.
Now, hold on a second, though, because SpeCial still is mining from the upper left. And as mobile as Bunny is in this game, he can't get up there that quickly. If there's a way that SpeCial can try to booby-trap the map or just interfere with progress from the push from Bunny, maybe SpeCial can buy some time. But it does appear right now that Bunny has twice the army size of SpeCial.
And unfortunately, SpeCial did forget his +3 vehicle weapons earlier in the game. Does have the extra armor upgrade. That won't make the difference here. How often do you see Cyclones shoot down a command center with their lock-on? Not that often, and we're not going to see it today either, as Bunny realizes he needs to get into the economy and the new production of SpeCial. He's going to push forward. It's Vikings, a Liberator, and Cyclones. More Cyclones on the way. SpeCial needs more time. He's vastly ahead in the income, but way down in the army. How can he possibly stop so many siege tanks? I don't know. We're going to have to see if SpeCial has the answers.
Every passing second is so important. SpeCial, again, he just needs to buy time. He's still draining resources from this these locations around the map. If he can keep getting command centers and keep producing with his factories as they relocate, he can continue to last in this game, and maybe he can hammer together an answer to so many siege tanks.
He's going to go for a counterattack. This is a good choice. He knows he can't engage the army, but if he can take out Bunny's production and expansions, he at least can make sure Bunny's not producing any new units. He is going to lose all of those bases in the top left-hand side. Most of SpeCial's SCVs go down as well. Cyclone's taking down a command center. We might actually see it. It's like a unicorn. It's both rare and precious, but it looks like today we might be able to actually see it. No. It's just going to burn to death.
It's going to burn down. Now, the main is getting blown up here. We have to start watching where the buildings are going to be floated to. Now, let's remember, SpeCial has air dominance. So there's really nowhere to...
base trade. Sorry, a draw.
Is there a place on this map where you can hide a smaller building?
There absolutely is.
There
down,
is, right?
Kind of below the main base. There's like this spot right
there. Yeah.
So SpeCial actually has a floating command center, but it's in the open right now. And he needs to get a building there. And then if he can just get rid of all of the mining, there's no flying units. But oh, that command center goes down. I think that was SpeCial's last command center. He's still got a few more buildings. He's actually trying to go cloaked Banshees right now. If he can get rid of all the orbital command centers, there won't be any scans. And then he can just use invisible Banshees to kill
this is so
everything.
sick. Okay. So, hold on. We have Bunny going to the upper right.
Yep.
He's actually going to try to pick a fight and get rid of all these structures, which actually I think SpeCial would probably prefer at this point in time. Now, the Cyclones are going to be trapped in here, so they will be taken out. But he can opt to target, whichever units he wants.
Oh, those Vikings need to get out of there. He's actually just going to try and hold the ramp for now. That's a cute move. This is going to buy time for SpeCial. And that Banshee is now out, but he doesn't know about this command center in the central north of the map. The Hellion knows what's going on.
Okay, he needs to get these Vikings out of here.
Yeah.
The Vikings are required for him to have a closer.
He's got to go kill that command center, man. If he gets rid of that command center, it is game over. There is no way for Bunny to deal with that Banshee, and the Banshee will eventually win the game. This command center is the secret to Bunny's victory. He's got an unbeatable army as long as he has those scans.
So, we have, 5 Cyclones for Bunny. We've got 5 Vikings for SpeCial. I believe there were 2 Liberators.
Yeah, there are 2 Liberators.
Yeah,
that might
there are.
be handy at some point.
I don't know exactly what's the best way to approach this. Now, keep in mind, everyone, as long as Bunny has that command center there and he starts to mine, he can eventually rebuild an economy and in theory, come back and win this game, whereas SpeCial is... basically, it's his growth is going to be stagnant. He's not going to win this by getting a bigger army. He's going to win this by shutting out the remaining buildings and workers. So here we go. 1 SCV mining. Another structure goes down.
There are 2 Banshees out now for SpeCial, but I think that's the end of his gas. If we look at the production tab, we can see he doesn't have any ability to get any more gas. Otherwise, SpeCial would be able to keep building Banshees and actually drain down all the scans. But as it is, it's going to be just 2 Banshees, and they're going to...
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, every unit's so precious right now. And Bunny gets a very good pickoff. The Liberators are coming over here, but the Cyclones, nimble as they are, manage to maneuver over here. A scan does go down.
Oh, one more scan. He's going to lock on. The Banshee goes down.
GG.
That's it.
Oh, that was such a good game.
That was such a
I
weird
did not
game.
know who was going to win that until just before we saw. That was really impressive. You know, had a scan missed, had the command center been gunned down.
Yeah.
Oh, the wrist flicking is real.
Yeah, man.
I can only imagine the tension that builds up in your body from playing a game like that.
That was such a bizarre game there. That was incredible. Such a weird style of mech. I love seeing that sort of thing.
All right, guys, before we go to game number 2, we'll give these players a breather, go back to the desk, and check what else is going on today at the Intel Extreme Masters.
That's right, plenty of updates coming from bracket number 4, of course, as we're trying to find out our last 3 players that are going to be moving forward. But laptop number 3, Rotterdam. Currently, you are in Trap versus Lacera.
Yep, and I don't think it's going to go on for too much longer. No, that's Harstem Su, and that's also great, guys. But let's jump to my laptop real quick.
Yeah,
Trap
there
versus
we go.
Lucera. This is game number 3. The score is 1-1, obviously. It's 39 probes, which means Protoss is super all in, and this War Prism is taking a lot of damage, but Adepts are good units.
Especially against Hydra, it's kind of themselves.
Yeah, with a few. I mean, if he had that warp in quicker, then I think it's absolutely game over. But this is so many adapts, though. The prism? No! Always have a backup prism.
Oh.
He's gonna shade in the main though.
Yeah,
Kill
but
a
if
lot
you lose
there.
the prism...
He hasn't
Not
killed
my
enough
perks,
walkers
I can't
just
warp
yet.
in.
He's gonna kill a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't like this. After losing the prism, I'm not sure. I mean, 26 drones is awesome, but he only has 39
Oh,
probes.
he actually shaded, even though there was nothing left in the main.
Okay, so he's just gonna back off. So I guess this game will just casually continue after killing 27 drones. Sorry, guys, false alarm.
There you go. your tone did change quite quickly once that prism went down, let's be honest. So shades forwards. Anyway, thank you very much, Rotterdam.
I'll keep a close eye on it. But yeah, basically, both games were really good. Game 2 was more of game 1. Another sick drop in the main base with Lurkers, Hydras. Anyway, let's go ahead to Su Harstem. But it was a great game.
Absolutely, yeah, let's check in Maynard. Su Harstem, 1-1 at the moment.
That's right, we're in game 3. Acid Plant went to Su, and we're on Eastwatch for game 3 here. And Su actually, we missed it a little bit ago. Harstem's army looks really, really good. Su actually knighted us with like 30 more army supply of Roach Queen with Ravager, and he was slowly pushing through Harstem's main. Nearly got this Twilight Council before charge finished, but it got done, and Harstem held on. With a lot of Immortals left over, I really like his chances against this unit comp. No Lurkers yet for Su, as we can see here, and he's primarily on Roach Hydra.
Yeah,
Look at this army, this is Roach Hydra.
That's a great army. He's got at least 5 Storm there, and it's going to be very hard for Su to defend that attack here. He needs a perfect engagement. I don't know.
It's a big Roach Hydra force, though.
By the way, if Harstem wins here, he's in a qualifying match.
Yeah,
I don't, it's not even his year, it's his millennia. I want his name engraved on that trophy over there.
In my opinion, Su is the best Zerg in the world right now. So this is an incredibly uplifting start for Harstem if he does indeed win the series, of course.
Ooh, nice catch.
Yeah, it's a nice stasis ward there. But Harstem's just slowly making it, a slow creep towards the Zerg, no pun intended, because the Zerg is in a concave and he's just trying not to throw the game here. Very, very tense. Very, very tense.
He's moving at the bottom with a lot of units. I think Harstem's going to go. Yeah, he was waiting for the Prism. All right, I think we should stay a little bit here.
Sure, let's do that.
Do you have your permission to stay here a little bit?
Until I get word, we have to go.
All these storms. The first one was nice, second one a little bit whiffed, but this concave for Su. His army supply is like a little bit better, but I got to say, like when the Protoss army has +2 attack and this many storms and this many Immortals even, like he has the Prism still alive.
They're both doing this so well because Harstem is trying to force an engagement from Su so he can storm everything, but Su is trying to make the storms miss so that he can then take the engagement and win.
I mean, you can tell he's scared because he was trying to make spine crawlers at this location as well. He's pushed him up against the wall.
Harstem's starting to come in here, and Su's eating some big storms. Roaches don't really care about the storms, but the Hydras are certainly taking a ton of damage. And there's the Immortals, and Harstem's starting to press the issue. Oh my god. Massive engagement, and Harstem comes out on top. No surprises there with that many Immortals. Not even with +3 needed here. Harstem crushes on
history,
through.
tasteless.
He 2-1 Su here. That's so sick.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's so
Why isn't everyone as excited as I am?
Why is every Dutch Protoss so good against Zerg, Roddy?
That's right.
It's because our channels are frozen and we ice skate all the time. Because creep is like ice.
Yeah, we got
There you
it.
go.
Yeah, I was with you on that one.
All right.
Well, I guess this is done.
My game has ended as well. I can
Yes.
just give you a quick recap. If you want, I can literally show you for 5 seconds. I know we're short on time.
We don't have much time at all.
5
so-
seconds?
Todd wants to update
Oh,
as well.
sorry.
So there you go. Todd, what's going on with you as Harstem takes the victory? So let's go over to Neeb and Hurricane. What do you
Yeah, so Hurricane won game 1 being very aggressive. They were both on 2 to 3 bases, and Hurricane kept attacking. They had
Yeah.
similar armies, but Hurricane broke him eventually. Game 2, they both opened Stargates, traded a few units, and we have Neeb trying to go into Immortals and a standard composition and more upgrades, and Hurricane saying, I'm going to stay low econ and keep attacking. So
Yeah.
we can jump into it. So I can show you guys. Yeah, these are the units lost so far. Hurricane, he's got more army right now, and his army is not necessarily as durable. He's playing at depths. Remember, he had the Phoenixes. He kind of won the air battle, so he's going to be able to pick up the Immortal there, land some great force fields, and I mean, that one Archon can only do so much. 2 shield batteries is nice, but against this much army, it will run out of energy super fast, and Neeb just doesn't have enough. Neeb losing in round 1 here of that bracket. Round 2, sorry. Against a Hurricane who, I mean, apparently is here to impress and do well.
Yeah.
What a crazy
That was
fight.
very common. 2-0. 2-0 for Hurricane.
Very well impressive there by Hurricane. Thank you very much for that update, Todd. And don't forget, guys, out there, you can catch a lot of these games that are currently going on our B and C streams as things continue down the line here for the Intel Extreme Masters. Thank you very much, gents, for the update. Sorry, Roddy, that I had to cut you off.
No worries.
We need to
But
get
Trap
back
won.
into the main series. Trap 1, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just keep talking, Roddy. You can't throw if you keep talking.
Yes, I can.
He
All
made
right.
more adepts.
No, we'll
Turn
leave
the
it.
laptop
It's time.
around.
Let's go. Next game. Whoa.
Okay, we're back. We're going to go into game number 2. Game number 1 was a really special TVT. Have you heard of Caster Flu?
No, I haven't.
It's, I think I've got it. It's when all the games are so sick.
Oh.
No, but seriously, these games are so good. It's crazy that we're having this amazing series over here. Just a few computer seats down. We're seeing upsets like we saw there at the desk. And now we go into game number 2, Special versus Bunny.
Here we go. It's going to be epic after that game number 1. I am still a little bit stunned after what we saw in that first game. A completely new and awesome style of mech from SpeCial. Obviously, specially catered to the mech versus mech matchup. Let's see what happens in game number 2.
In the upper left, in the blue, our player SpeCial.
Made for Exceed Esports. And looking like an absolute killer so far today, but upsetting him here in game number 1. A player who a lot of people have high hopes for, looking to make his mark. It is Bunny. I still can't get over that first game, and
Oh, I know.
I think
it did not look like an ordinary TVT at all.
I feel like SpeCial's got to be a little bit frustrated after. I mean, just psychologically, he had a great lead in that game. When you
really
go for
did.
a 4th base that early and you like defend their entire pushes towards it was like 2 or 3 pushes in a row. And remember how desperate it looked from Bunny. He was landing Vikings to fight Cyclones, and that's just not efficient. Like, there's like key moments where you land Vikings in a fight
We
and
see
it
that.
works out really well.
D9's car's been found again over there
Thank God.
at the
man.
robbery. But there's another car. If
Yeah.
you go just to the right, go to the right a little bit. See up?
Oh, wow.
God.
Is this where people that steal
They
cars
might have
just, like,
escaped on
leave
that
them?
little slide thing down there. That,
Oh.
just to the right of there.
Yeah, where do those cars drive to from there anyway?
I don't, how do they get up there? Is there? There's no entrance.
Are these flying cars? Do they have flying cars in StarCraft? Why
Well,
can't
you would
Why
hope
can't
so.
Hellions fly then? Shouldn't Hellions be able to fly
Oh,
if
that's
you
a
have
good
flying
point.
cars?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of cool shops, though, in that area. I was checking out that part of the map. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun to see all the little features that you don't normally get to notice in a competitive match.
Yeah, man, we found like a couple of Ewoks yesterday or something as well. There's so many cool little features and details. And of course, this map is Neon Violet Square, for anyone who isn't too familiar with it. Has, of course, those kind of crazy purple blockable boxes all over the place. Both players skirmishing with their SCVs a little bit, both scouting each other and trying to keep on top of what their opponent's going for. And this time around is going to be the same gas timing into, I mean, it's a perfectly mirrored build for both sides, just a Reaper into Reactor Factory. So Hellions and Cyclones no doubt going to be the order of the day, and I mean this is usually the most common opening into mech, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that same clash of styles once again here.
What's this SCV doing down here?
So that's a proxy starport.
He's just going to set up. Yeah,
that's a proxy starport. That's really cool.
Well, yeah, because
they're both going to do it. It's so common on this map in TVT.
Oh my
This
word!
This has just gotten so popular lately. Of course, you can do a super fast Hellion drop is what we saw from SpeCial before. I wouldn't be surprised to see that again. But even a Liberator. I mean, we saw actually just a few weeks ago. I think it might have been one of the games you and Artosis were casting, where I think it was like Gumiho was searching every corner on this map for like the proxy, and he missed the one time.
It was really weird. He like hit it out in the open because a lot of times people hide proxy buildings like just so clearly in the corner. But if you kind of hide it more in plain sight, they just don't check there because they're trying to be efficient with their scouting. So SpeCial is going to come out now with his first two Hellions and the Reaper. Now, we've seen the same. Can we get a shot of the mirror opposite side of the map? Is it? Okay, so let's see how this first exchange goes.
Ooh, Hellions here lining up for both sides. Nice grenade there. It looks like Bunny with the slight edge in this engagement gets the Reaper kill as well as the Hellion. Does take the small advantage there. And of course, a bit of difference in the follow-ups. A Cyclone and a Medevac on the way for Bunny. So Bunny wants to Hellion drop, bring Cyclones in, bounce around like that. Meanwhile, SpeCial just going for the Liberator. Now, this could be disastrous for Bunny if his Cyclones aren't at home. If he has no Cyclones at home, that Liberator sieges up on his mineral line, he will have no answer because his starport is on the other side of the map.
Oh, wow, a little bit of miscontrol here by SpeCial, actually misfiring with one of those volleys. And now this Hellion is kind of forced to run almost towards Bunny's expansion and try to get an idea of what's going on. Immediately shot down by the Cyclone, but that's the one of the things he was looking for. Now, the Liberator coming in here, does he want to wait or does he come in right this very second? Because the further out that Cyclone is, the better it is for him. Here we go. Liberator set up. We don't see anything right away to help defend. Although there is actually a Liberator. Oh, no, excuse me. That's a proxy Liberator because that's all the way at the top of the map.
So they're both going to actually be hitting. There will be a Liberator after the Medevac for Bunny as well. But I'm not actually sure if he's cancelled that or no. It looks like it's coming in now as well. He's also loading up a Hellion Cyclone drop to come in. I don't know if SpeCial has anything at home right now. Both sides doing big damage and a massive screw up from Bunny. He accidentally moved his Cyclone into the Liberator circle and got it destroyed. So there's no anti-air at home for Bunny right now.
Okay, the Liberator gets cleaned up, but the drop is just now going to commence here from Bunny. Meanwhile, a Hellion push coming in over at that expansion back there. If we go back over to this, yes, this one over here. This is a lot of damage going down on these SCVs. It looks like Bunny pretty smartly backs out the moment he realizes he can't get away with any more punches in there. And now it seems as though Bunny should be able to bully these Hellions out, and they won't be able to do any more damage.
This is crazy right now. Absolute chaos with both sides proxying a starport and doing a ton of damage to each other. SpeCial somehow has the worker lead despite losing way more SCVs. His production has been on point, and he actually very key was the fact that he slowed down the command center that was building. And it's only now just restarting. This Liberator being so annoying for SpeCial.
And it looks like this one's actually going to get out.
Yeah.
So he can use that for a possible attack later on. But he's going to gear up and try to do a drop of his own, headed northbound up here.
Oh, I mean, this is looking very dicey right now. I don't know if there's anything in position on either side. 4 Cyclones coming in and out of nowhere. And I mean, a couple of bruised Hellions aren't going to stop that. This Natural is in massive trouble, but at the same time, back at home, SpeCial has been dropped by 2 Hellions and a Cyclone. And his Cyclones actually filter in, but good focus fire there by SpeCial does end up holding with just 6 SCVs lost. And oh, man!
Oh my God, he's going to go to the command center!
Oh, man!
That's not supposed to happen! A big win there by SpeCial, and that's it. GG. SpeCial ties it up 1-1.
I've been looking for that Cyclone lock-on command center kill for 2 games
I know.
in a row. It finally happened, man. That was incredible play there from SpeCial. Really does take a lot to keep your cool when you've got like a Liberator in your main, you've got these Hellions running into your Natural, you're trying to micro your Liberator on the other side of the map. But it looks like SpeCial there, the one who did come out on top at the end of that.
It's kind of funny how that works out. The Cyclone does damage so fast that sometimes you have this, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, you look back, like, oh, that can tank a bit of damage. Like, what? It's just gone?
Yeah. Just a pretty wild game back there. These two players seem to produce just excellent TVTs as a caster, as a spectator, because they are just constantly taking swings at each other. There's moments where they're both attacking each other at the same time. it's tough. You're trying to hit all these key locations like take out SCVs or take out key tech structures or target a medevac. But at the same time, you're trying to protect your workers. Make sure that you can keep your eye on the mini-map and get ready for the next attack, whether it's a drop, whether it's a run around with Hellions, whether it's a push right down the middle with the Cyclones.
And that's what you got to do here in this matchup. You don't want to pull any punches. You don't want to sit there too defensive. I like this aggressive stance from both players, and I definitely love the chaos in the matches that it leads onto. But the next map is going to be the decider, of course, in this series. And this is the lower bracket, guys. The loser will be eliminated. And the winner does advance through to the round of 24 group stage. So it's a very important match. It is the last match of the qualification bracket number 3. After this one, we will be jumping into that bracket number 4. The players are already playing their matches, some of them already being eliminated, and a few of them getting closer and closer to making it through to that group stage.
A lot of pressure on both of these guys. Again, Bunny's a Terran player you can never count out. He always has interesting games. He just occasionally gets, you know, a little bit outclassed by some of these other Korean Terrans, but SpeCial, he's been on the rise, but he may have met his match here, despite how strong of a TDT player he is. And now we get ready to enter game number 3. Get that Spammerino ready to help Juanito. In the blue, he is SpeCial. And in the upper left, in the red, he is Bunny. Ah. It's hard to say Bunny in a voice like that, you know?
Bunny!
Bunny! Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the fiercest name, but he lets his play speak for him. Fortunately, we only have, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of sad. We don't have the Danish Bunny anymore. Used to always be a lot of confusion every time one of these two guys was playing in the tournament. 2 Terrans, both with identical aliases, and always led to a bit of confusion. But the Korean Bunny still here, competing hard in tournaments, still doing well, and really looking to finally get that important result in a big tournament like this. Just making it through to the group stage would be a really meaningful accomplishment for Bunny. I mean, this is such a tournament with so much money on the line, so much prestige. And, of course, boosted up to $400,000 this year as well with that war chest. Loving the skins from that myself. Did you actually, did you see, do you have a favorite skin from that one, Tasteless?
I love them all, man. I love anything that supports what we're doing here right now, man. I don't know. It's so cool. You know, now we're going. It's been over 7 years, right?
It's almost 8 now, right?
Yeah, we're getting close to
like
8,
almost
right?
Almost 8th birthday of SC2.
And that's right. And you know, it's so cool to see that the games are getting better and better with every passing year as we learn more about StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it just keeps evolving.
It's actually just never too late to start. We have, especially in this tournament, a lot of new players who weren't as dominant in the past 7 years, now rising up to the top. Many of them much younger, or started much later. And then, of course, we still have some of our old school titans.
Yeah.
SpeCial is about as old school as you can get with StarCraft. This guy's been playing StarCraft 1 since he was very little. I think started at 9 or 10.
He was raised on StarCraft.
He was raised on StarCraft.
It nurtured him, gave him life, gave him APM, gave him fast, incredible hands, and great strategies. Speaking of those strategies, it looks like both players are just expanding on up here. Similar build orders for both sides, but we do see a Tech Lab nice and early for SpeCial. Going to be building a starport on that, going to be going straight into either Cloaked Banshees or Ravens. Meanwhile, Bunny, not the biggest fan of starports. Let's see, is he going to put one down this game? I feel like we might just see a second factory again, because right now he's got a bit of gas banking up. And yeah, it looks like he's going to stick to maybe just a couple of Hellions to open up and then probably go into those Cyclones, which he's so well known for.
You know, it's really interesting, Bunny. His playstyle, a lot of what we've seen, especially in the GSL, is he does like to have a mid-game fight. It's usually his own kind of push. But he's not somebody who will stay back and just macro and
yeah.
watch. He seems, as far as his RTS philosophy goes, that he really believes in setting the pace with his own engagement in mid-game. He doesn't always do crazy rushes early on. And I do want to clarify for some of the people that are maybe not that familiar with StarCraft, a lot of these movements we see like this are not full-on attacks. These are what we call pokes. just trying to see, okay, are you being honest in this game? You got enough to defend this. And occasionally you'll see a skirmish where they out-control each other. And
just looking for a bit of information, a bit of intel, exert that pressure. And if you just sit at home, your opponent can kind of get away with some risks sometimes, can't they, right? As you said, keep them honest, make sure they've got their defense ready. Otherwise, you can see some really cheeky strategies. A mistake which some players have fallen into, even at the pro level in the past, is just kind of being too defensive. And once their opponents catch on to that, they tend to take advantage of it by just doing very greedy openings, rushing up those tech trees. And that's, of course, what TVT is all about, is keeping your opponent honest. It's going to be the Cloaked Banshee harass for SpeCial. Meanwhile, Bunny usually likes to do a big Cyclone pressure to try and surprise his opponent.
Okay. Oh, Banshee spotted there. Cloak about 2 seconds away from finishing. But this makes it a little bit awkward because, actually the Cyclone's going to intercept it.
Oh, man, that's really bad. He's out in the open.
So awkward now.
He's out in the open. He's got a cloak. He's actually not cloaking.
Oh, big win there by Bunny. The Banshee wants to try to go around and get into an angle that might surprise his opponent, but because he stayed under that those Hellions for too long, the Cyclones were able to come in and intercept it. And honestly, when you're doing a strategy like that as SpeCial, you cannot lose the Banshee like that. You have way been put in a bad position in the game.
So valuable because you got that upgrade as well, which costs 100 minerals and 100 gas and a lot of time to upgrade. So definitely going to want to get a little bit more damage with the second Banshee, but with a missile turret ready, 3 Cyclones there, Bunny is well prepared to deal with this. And just going to have to back off for now. SpeCial's just going to poke around the edges, see if he can pick anything up. He's going into siege tanks and more Banshee production at home, so it looks like he's not going to just give it up this quickly. And I think this is a good choice because Bunny doesn't get a starport very fast. He's often not going to build a Raven in response, right? If someone builds a Raven, that's where continued Banshee production just fizzles out because they've just got a detector. He spots you even when you're invisible, and it's super easy to defend.
Okay, well now we know that the Banshee can actually... Can he hit that from there if he rearranges the Cyclones there?
I think the lock-on will reach there once you're locked on, but I don't think you can actually start the lock. So I think the Banshee is technically safe there.
What was that movie where they took all the prisoners and they put them on an island? And that was like where they had to stay, and there was no way to get off the island. That's what that Banshee's experiencing right now.
Yeah, it's just going to be stuck there
for a while. Your cages are the freedom of your own death if you try to leave. So I think that sucks for him. But also, if you keep that Banshee up there for a while, they can end up leaving it, because of, for instance, another Banshee like this coming up over here.
I guess this is the opportunity potentially to find that damage. Comes in, gets an SCV, slows down the armory, does force another scan, and does get shot down there, though. More Banshees are working their way across the map as well, I believe. And I think he was building another one? I don't know. There's still the one hidden on the north side as well, but maybe cancelled that 4th Banshee and swapped up the starport for Viking production. Both players going to be building up here. SpeCial, despite the Banshees not really doing anything, has a 3rd base landed, has a good economy. The scary thing is these Cyclones, because SpeCial's army a little bit smaller after investing in so many Banshees and not finding any damage.
Okay, Bunny now coming up here from the north side. I'm actually not clear. What does SpeCial have in this? He doesn't have anything here, right? Okay, there's 1 tank, which is more than manageable. But SpeCial's going to relocate his army. Now, actually, taking out the gas here might look small, but this can actually add up in a game where you're going for factory units like we're seeing here. And in fact, if SpeCial overextends, we may see a dive attack here by Bunny where he tries to just get on top of this. But Bunny decides otherwise and decides to go ahead and back up and look for openings elsewhere. And this is the Bunny that we know. He likes to look for openings.
Yeah, just trying to find that weakness. And I think this time around, SpeCial showing he wants to play a much more generic style of mech. Not going to risk it with that crazy Cyclone Viking Liberator style that he was doing before. And, that Widow Mine really getting some nice value in this game. That's like the 2nd or 3rd units it's killed. Hellions going down there for Bunny, and SpeCial locking things down. He's gone for a very early Thor, and that's actually a great decision. He's noticed the high Viking count here for Bunny, and because of that, he knows there's a good chance Liberators will be coming out. If you lose the air war, they have Liberators, you just get destroyed. But the one way you can survive there is having a Thor. It's got very long-ranged anti-air. It can counter those Liberators.
So we see this area being torn down. Since Bunny can't really get a clean opening, for the time being, what he's doing is starting to crack open what would normally be clogged areas of the map so that if SpeCial, let's say, tries to leave, Bunny can always counterattack. Bunny can try to look for an area where he can have a favorable fight, because especially in Terran vs. Terran, you need to have a proper setup before you engage, or you can lose everything.
These Hellions coming in here for SpeCial, looking for the big damage. Those SCVs did line up a little bit there, and it looks like 8 of them will fall. A nice bit of damage. The pressure's still on here, though. Bunny coming forwards. Oh, that Widowmine almost got a sick connection. Doesn't quite get it, and that Liberator is taking down one of these siege tanks. The Vikings heavily bruised, though, from the Widowmine. Vikings starting to come out 4 at a time for SpeCial. He needs to get that air count up to be able to contest this.
Okay, we see now SpeCial just unsieging, beginning to back up. The push has started. This is easier said than done, though. In fact, I think Bunny might have to back up. That turret's getting close to finishing. And it's going to be a little bit trickier until the tanks come in and gun down the turret. And then this leapfrog process comes where the Liberators get to a certain position. They grant cover for the tanks. The tanks then push everything back. The Liberator pushes forward further. It's a very tedious push, but it's one that's neither easy to stop nor to pull off for the pusher himself.
And the Vikings finally do come in. They snipe that Liberator. SpeCial gets rid of that ground pushing power. The tank's coming very far forward for Bunny. Do take out one of the siege tanks as well as the missile turrets, but SpeCial's done a fantastic job of buying time here. I do feel like he may have given up a few too many Vikings in that engagement. His Hellions are going to come in, though, once again looking for potential SCV kills, but just going to have to fight the Hellions instead. Good defense by Bunny, simultaneously pushing that front.
So, Bunny relocating, saying, this is too much heavy lifting and not likely to have big returns. He might rotate around again. Now, the sensor tower set up here by SpeCial is actually pretty good because it causes a wide berth that Bunny has to go around if he wants to go undetected. And of course, the moment he doesn't see any army there, then he knows he probably has to turn around. So it almost looks like Bunny went for somewhat of like a fakie there to try to make it look like he was leaving, and then he tried to come back in when the tanks are maybe going to relocate. But it seems like SpeCial actually has more Vikings, and if you win the air fight, a lot of times you end up winning the ground fight as long as you have as long as you have enough tanks in siege mode.
Oh, and it looks like the Vikings being forced to land, but I think that was a great choice from SpeCial. The meat disappears for Bunny, and once the siege tanks are exposed, SpeCial takes him out. A great defense here from SpeCial. Back up against the ropes this entire time, but he hangs on, and at the end of it, guess what? There's a 4th base in the top side for SpeCial. He's got a planetary up there. He's got 85 SCVs. That count continuing to grow. SpeCial loves this massive economy game, and you know what? This is how he got ahead in game number 1, but he didn't really find the engagements with that fancy composition. But this time, tanks, Vikings, Hellions, Liberators, this is a much more straightforward army. I don't see SpeCial giving up this economy advantage unless Bunny finds some really good angles. The pressure is now on Bunny to find the angles and the efficiency in the engagements.
What you're saying is very true. It's so reminiscent of game number 1. SpeCial just with the ability to grow. It's like the Blob, but for Terran here. He just keeps consuming.
He's a little bit less scary than the Blob as well.
Yeah, I think he's scarier than the Blob because he has Liberators too, as you can see over here. Well, maybe not in this case with the Vikings, but in general. But, you know, the thing about SpeCial in the series is that because he's growing so quickly and because this map is shaped differently than game 1, I think this should allow the SpeCial to eventually get big enough that we're going to see the 2 armies collide around the middle of the map. This map can easily be cut in half with a diagonal from the upper right to the bottom left.
Yeah, there's some cool ridges. It's such a wide spread on this map across the middle, so positioning becomes very important. And oh man, these Hellions coming in. Bunny only on about 70 workers. He cannot afford to lose these as much as SpeCial can. And already 11 going down. A great Hellion run by here. No blue flame done for Bunny, so we actually can't even clean these Hellions up that quickly.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these SCVs have been damaged from previous attacks, so it's a little bit easier to pick them off here. We see Bunny with his own attack, but immediately forced out here by SpeCial. But Bunny now taking the center left while coming with a push. Now, the supplies are quite different, and SpeCial has a bigger army, but that doesn't mean that Bunny can't win a fight if he just has a good engage or SpeCial's out of position.
I mean, Bunny here, I mean, he's still got like the good army here, especially with the air control. That's the real threat. And that's why we see SpeCial building so many missile turrets everywhere. He knows he might not be ready to fight this push front on, so he might need to just buy time and pull back. So he's continuing to Hellion run by, and he's saying, you know what, I know your economy's bruised. Let's make it bloody. Let's just bash your economy down, and over time, you will run out of steam. Meanwhile, SpeCial just powering up his production and his upgrades at home. Another 9 workers going down. For SpeCial, it's all about hanging on. More missile turrets trying to get down here on the north side.
You know, I got to be critical of Bunny here. He's been playing a blind man's game. SpeCial has sensor towers set up, and Bunny is trying to basically outmaneuver him, but constantly SpeCial has these counterattacks. They get in there because there is no sensor tower and a lot of times no defense there, really. And a lot of SCVs are killed off. 49 workers to 87, Pig.
Yeah, this just speaks to the difference in these styles. You know, SpeCial is wanting to play the long game. He's saying, I want to just keep on extending the game over time. I think I'm the better player. I think I'll be able to actually get these advantages. Bunny, on the other hand, forced to try and engage here. The Liberated Splash did massive damage, but Bunny trying to force his way through.
We have tanks coming here from the north. It does appear that there's a pretty intimidating number of Vikings for SpeCial, now eliminating the few remaining air units for Bunny. However, the ground army from Bunny having a lot more muscle, actually forcing that command center to lift. And SpeCial needs to come up with a solution very, very quickly.
Not too many SCVs actually went down there. SpeCial once again moving like water. His economy adjusts. He comes in from multiple angles, landing the Vikings, but that was way too early. He had almost no generic fighting units on the ground. You can't fight. Held that Cyclone tank with just a few landed Vikings, but he's getting tanks up in his natural. He's got 2 tanks on the north as well, I believe. Oh, they might have actually gone down. So it's just a planetary on its own up there, and that is a bit vulnerable.
Okay, keep in mind that SpeCial did not lose that many workers. It's still 43 to 73. Hopefully if he kills that Hellion, that would help out a lot. But SpeCial still has the tools to regain a functional economy, but he has to deal with this push here from Bunny. And although this is a very unusual game, it's actually one that Bunny totally could win. I mean, the army is very scary, and it doesn't seem like SpeCial has the right combination to really address it easily.
Yeah, I mean, these Liberators coming forward, it's a little bit of a desperation siege up with those. He has to get rid of those siege tanks. He is going to take one out. Vikings and Ravens coming forward, but these siege tanks caught in the open.
SpeCial with, you know, any stray unit right now is just too valuable. This Hellion still doing damage to these SCVs, and the push, it just can't be stopped. I can't believe that Bunny managed to battering ram his way through the center of the map, and now he sees SpeCial's units scrambling to try to get to safety. He's trying to manufacture the right unit composition to address this push. Bunny's still with less of a powerful economy, but in this case, it looks like the army might be the thing that actually wins the game.
This is the same problem as game number 1 for SpeCial. Even though he went for siege tanks this time, he doesn't have that many factories. He doesn't have the meat on the ground. He's almost purely reliant on this advanced air army. And the problem here for SpeCial is that it's very hard to force your opponent to engage into those Liberator zones. He does end up defending the base on the north. This is important. The Hellion counters continuing to batter Bunny's economy, but at the same time, Bunny doing some large SCV damage, closing that worker gap. And I mean, SpeCial, he just desperately needs to stabilize. His upgrades are actually a little bit behind. He's only got +1 vehicle weapons, and he's really just not building that many tanks.
It seems like most of Bunny's army is concentrated just at the center right expansion. Is he actually going to break this?
Oh, wow. Those Cyclones just do so much damage. He's just going to give it up. SpeCial realizes this is crazy trying to hang on to that. Pulls the SCVs away, but 22 have gone down. He's going to pull back to his initial 4-base setup. A push on the south side coming forward. These siege tanks are going to take that out with a little bit of help from these Hellions.
Tough judgment call there to pull those SCVs at that center right base, but I think SpeCial realizing he maybe bit off more than he can chew, trying to actually hold all these locations. But Bunny's not stopping, and a great engage here. Bunny actually punting the command center further north. However, SpeCial then realigns his army, tries to come in here to defend. It's crucial that SpeCial holds this location.
Yeah, I mean, these Cyclones on the ground doing so much damage for Bunny, even with their anti-air lock-on. Yes, you've got the air advantage, but like I said, the problem is he can't force Bunny to engage into those lib zones without the siege tanks on the ground providing that ranged anti-ground damage. He's just not able to defend these areas, and this is the problem for SpeCial. If he's maxed out, he's got tank lines everywhere. This is the composition you want. But in this low economy situation, is mass Viking Liberator really the answer? I've got to be critical. I've got to say, I don't think it is. It's not working for him. He needs to change it up. But his production tab is saying different. It's just still tons of air units on the way for SpeCial.
Scans going down as this game is slowed down a little bit. You know, they've both taken such a beating. it's kind of incredible that Bunny was hurt that much economically and then managed to have a fight that seemed to last, I want to say 4 or 5 minutes there, actually denying SpeCial many locations on the map. But for now, we saw those scans go down. They're trying to figure out, okay, what have they taken? Where's the army at? Bunny is, I would say with a pretty wise move, trying to take the center here since most of the map control has gone to him. And he has small forces on either side of these expansions wanting to counterattack in case SpeCial tries to come out.
Oh, moves the Hellion in front to get the friendly fire on the SCVs. A great move there by Bunny, and Bunny's established a lead for himself. He is up 7 workers. He's got more bases established, and he's got this fearsome ground army of Cyclones. He's still got the better upgrades with the attack and armor, as opposed to the armor upgrades of SpeCial. I guess the armor upgrades of SpeCial will be good versus the Cyclones, but I mean, SpeCial's still so focused on the air army, and I'm not sure if that's going to get it done for him.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy because it's now even in workers after it's all said and done. Although Bunny has now more bases and more map control. Here comes a major push coming in here, and there's just 1 tank, Pig. 2 more coming up, but they are going right into the firing line, and now it's down to 2. This command center is going to be in range of being shot.
Does get 1 tank for the damage there. SpeCial, of course, very close on army supply. Both players even in workers. This has been a real slugfest here, and it's just about SpeCial trying to hang on to these 4 bases. But I think Bunny's comfortable. He should know the fact that he has a 5th established in the middle means he doesn't need to force the issue. Yeah, he can just look for favorable trades, look for advantage wherever he can find it. As long as Bunny doesn't get over-eager and try to force his way in, I like his position, I say, right before the SCVs start getting massacred. He's going to jump on the siege tanks.
Bunny now coming in. Liberator setting up. Did Bunny overextend? SpeCial shutting this attack down, taking out so many valuable army units there. He retreats. Dude, that was a split-second decision, and I think it's one that Bunny might be regretting. Now, for the first time, SpeCial regroups. And I thought he was going to push out, but it looks like he's going back. So it looks like SpeCial wants to continue to play a more conservative game. I guess Bunny actually might want to double down here.
Yeah, this has gotten crazy right now with the air battle coming in. Bunny pushing forward with the superior Viking count, but the Liberators can unsiege and add their air damage. And it looks like SpeCial might just have a little bit too much. Finally, after weathering the storm, hanging on for so long, he blasts those Cyclones down, and he pushes Bunny out of that game.
GG. Fantastic showing there by SpeCial. Every game so cool. I am wowed.
That was such a cool series of games.
I mean, it's crazy because there were so many moments where it seemed like SpeCial could have bled out. Bunny on the offense, I think, for at least a full third of that game.
That was crazy, man.
But then eventually, we see some hugs going around. A lot of the Korean players, good friends with SpeCial, as he has been residing in Seoul for some time now, training. Anyways, congratulations to him. We are going to go to a short break, and we come back and interview with our winner, SpeCial.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. We just saw a ridiculous Terran versus Terran. So first of all, congratulations, SpeCial. That was such a fantastic series. There's so much to talk about. But first, you said this road would be hard. You said it'd be hard because of Zest and Bunny, but you fought through all of them and you finally qualified. So what's going through your head right now?
I'm normally not very reactive. Like, I'm normally not that happy. Even when I got like run off for BlizzCon, I was just like, okay. Well, like, I prepared so much for this. I knew it was going to be really hard, so I was very happy after I won the last game.
Well, let's talk about games 1 and 3. Game 3 in just a second, but game 1 was such a nutty Terran versus Terran. It turned into this crazy base trade situation. Walk us through what happened there and why at the very end you weren't able to win.
I don't know, it was strange from the beginning because he killed some SCVs with the Reaper, and then I killed some SCVs with the Hellions. But this style, I was learning this style with TY, we tried to find out. And it's okay, but it's hard to play. It always turns into stuff like this, like base ready, because I have only Cyclones and Hellions and try and transition into air really fast. That's why it turns out like that, but it's fun to play, but it's very complicated to win. But I don't know, I felt like I should have won that game if I calm a little bit and just go together with everything. But my style is always like to multitask everywhere, but in that situation I should have been more calm and go together and I would have won that game, I think.
Well, luckily you were able to win Game 2, and then Game 3 was also so crazy. At times, it felt like Bunny was just going to take away the series, but at the very end, you were able to close out the win. So what do you think were the deciding factors for that?
So I know his style, and I know in this map he likes to play 5 factory, 1 armory, semi-all-in. That's why I'm like, okay, I want to play 2 armory, 3 factory, many bases, and very defensive. But there was one point where he caught me off guard when his attack, and then everything went like bad. So I'm like, oh, I might lose. But I had Liberator range and 2 upgrades, so I slowly crawled back and I was doing Hellion run-bys and everything. So it was very hard because I really thought I was going to lose, but I managed to win that game, so I'm very happy.
Well, it's a well-deserved win, and you are now qualified for that group stage. 2018 overall has been really successful for you, 2 top 4s already, and we're not even in March yet. So coming into this event, despite the fact that it's such a stacked event, what's your goal right here?
Well, my goal was first to qualify, so I don't know, I'm just going to take it step by step. I've been practicing a lot. It's very, very hard for me to win tournaments, to play my best, but I'm starting to do it, so I'm very happy and I hope I can do well at this event too.
Sounds fantastic. Congratulations again, Juan. Best of luck at that group stage. Colares, back to you.
That's right. Would it be a round of 24 here in 2018 without the Pokemon master himself, Juanito, throwing out that Pokeball and grabbing himself a spot? Very well done, of course, by SpeCial as he moves on forwards. Welcome back to the Command Hub here for the Intel Extreme Masters, the battle station, as we get things going. Todd,
raise your Pringles.
Something? Where's my Pringles?
Raise your Pringles.
Raise the Pringles. That's right. That's
for
right.
Juanito.
Yeah, I agree.
We've reached this point.
We have reached this point. And look at that. Perfect stuff. Well done, Todd. You summoned it, and it came. It came. Let's talk about some of the games that we have going on here at the moment. Rotterdam, what have you got going on at the moment over there?
I'm still looking at Sue versus Cure. Of course, we saw Sue fall against Harsem in the upper bracket. This is currently going on in game number 2. Game 1 was kind of one-sided. Sue just made a massive roach attack, did too much damage. Cure tried to crawl back into the game, but he was just too far behind. He had like 10 SCVs left after the attack. Game 2, it looks all even. There's this one difference, and that is kind of the difference between Todd and me. Where Todd is very rich and I'm broke. The same thing with Sue and Cure. Look at that bank. 7,000 minerals, and Cure's only got 1K. Other than that, they're maxed out, and it seems like
Cure's going to win, like you beat me every time.
I don't know about that, but this game is probably going to go on for a while with a bank like that. At least Cure's, you know, sort of still in it, but yeah, Sue's playing well.
All right, thank you very much, Rotterdam. Isn't most of Todd's bank on his arms? Isn't that where that's from?
Perhaps, yeah.
Anyway, let's check in with you, Todd. What's going on? You've got Soto versus Neeb at the moment.
Yeah, sort of actually won game 1 with lost game 1 with a Link Flood that Neeb held against and then was too far ahead. And so far, like sort of has been trying to see with Hydralisk and Lurkers in this game, and looks like Neeb's doing all right here. I mean, he's got a pretty big army, and as long as he's not under threat on his side of the map, I think Neeb almost always does well. Look at this. Let's not look at the supply and look at this fight. How about
this? Hid it. You hid the supply,
It's
Todd.
a new thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
You still know how to cast, Todd?
No.
No, he's not. What's happening right now?
He's like, no idea what I'm looking
What
at.
is this? Is this Warcraft 3?
Oh, he lost the Observer. He saw that Observer snipe?
One sec, Todd. I'll give you my glasses.
I don't know. I can see the supply.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much for that update, Todd. Let's move on now, as we have Ragnarok versus Blue Cheese, I think, and it's 1-0 to Ragnarok at the moment, Maynard.
It is at the moment, but Blue Cheese definitely fighting back. An angry-looking drop up here in the top right. He gets that hatchery. This hatchery's actually been denied a couple times. Ragnarok, just to give you guys a bit of an update, beat Blue Cheese basically by taking one really great engagement on Neon Violet Square and then basically just massed Lings and Baneling busted him and just killed all of his production. But this game, Blue Cheese is looking very strong. This time we can look at the Supplier, and it's quite nice here for the Terran. His upgrades are, a little bit behind the Zergs, but he has so much extra army supply, and the Ultras aren't fully upgraded, so they are actually quite beatable here for this bio and tank
The empty
combo.
supply.
That one died very fast.
Oh yeah.
But admittedly, it's against a lot of bio there, so...
Yeah, this one's looking like it's quite nice for Blue Cheese. Not too many Banelings left for Ragnarok, so as I say that, a ton of bio just died there to that one Baneling on the right there.
I mean, this army is not really being stopped anytime soon.
No, it's huge army supply
That's
advantage.
GG, there you go.
Let's
So
go.
Blue Cheese ties it up. We're going to one apiece, and game 3 will be shortly.
Yeah, that was like when Roddy walks in the club here.
That was
Just took control and dominated everything.
That's right, it's just over. It's just over at that point. All right, let's check
Yeah,
with
when
the
I was
bracket
24,
as quickly as possible.
Last year.
7 years ago.
So, look at that, boys. All Protoss in that top 4 in the wins
James,
bracket.
what did I say at the beginning of this broadcast? If any Protosses were going to come out, it was going to be this group right here.
I think you said it was going to be all Terran, didn't you?
I absolutely did not. I said
Hey,
the Protosses
perfect
were
balance
the
again. We had the Cairn group, the Zerg group, and the Protoss group. Shout out to my man David.
There you go.
Mr. Kim,
Oh, yes, of course.
legend lives on.
Yeah, the legend lives on. We do have Lucero advancing through there against Gerald, and Rotterdam says something is happening in his game.
I mean, since we're not waiting on any other game, if you guys want to take a quick look at the final moments versus Su and Cure, it really turned into a cool game with a bunch of Ravens and a bunch of nuclear missiles going down left, right, and center. But if we can go ahead into my laptop real quick, I mean, the face is okay, but the laptop is better, I think. No, not that one. The other one. The one with all the Broodlords.
Number 3, please.
We can take a... Okay, we're looking at the final moments. I think you just threw it.
This is Bunny and Special.
This is
Yeah.
Bunny and Special.
That's a recap video.
Yeah.
Are we
You can
leaving?
watch that as well.
Oh, we can talk about Bunny and Special. That was the
I
series
like
that just happened on the
watching
mainstream.
Vikings.
Rewind it, maybe?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That is indeed my laptop. It literally just ended, guys, so we can take a look at the final moments.
Show us these rewinding skills, Roddy.
Yeah, but basically Su just killed too much already in the end. He was morphing a bunch of Broodlords, and Cure definitely did his best. I mean, a lot of goals went done in this game. Actually, only 4. But he was dropping a lot. He still has 13 goals at this point. That's what I meant.
108 dead
Who's
Marines.
winning?
I think the guy with all the Broodlords, especially since we just saw him in as well. But yeah, this is of course good news for Su and good news for all the Su fans out there. He is still alive, unfortunately for Cure. His run will end here as he had no answer against the overwhelming swarm of Su. Kind of sad though. I would have loved to see more of Cure. That's also one of those Terrans we just don't see enough of, but he's so damn good. But I'm sure a lot of Zerg fans are very happy to see Su advance.
Todd really wants to go into laptop number 2.
Actually, we kind of missed the big fight, but Nib just got a massive cleanup here in this game against a huge lurker siege of Zortov, and I think, well,
there you go. Ta-da! It's
you
done.
saw it behind me.
It was there. All right,
was good
gentlemen,
enough.
it's time now to go to a short break here, and then when we return, more action from the Intel Extreme Masters. Stay tuned.
All eyes are on